The Xenomorph infestation on Earth had left the remaining human population in the hundreds of millions, decreasing fast. Top military personnel had evacuated in the hope to develop a plan to retake the planet. Hicks, Newt, and the android, Bueller, had managed to commandeer a cargo ship found at Earth's last remaining military base. The rest of Earth was not so lucky as to escape, a fact not lost on Hicks, who, after a little more than 2 weeks into the ship's flight, began to reflect on the state of the lost planet. In space, you begin to understand the true nature of immortality. Out here, spatial and temporal concerns seem trivial, insignificant. We're 15 days out from Earth. It might as well be years. The main antenna was still picking up fragments of Earth orbit satellite transmissions. It took days for the signals to reach us. It was like watching shadows. Mostly pre-records, digital chips, mag carts, but occasionally we'd get something live off the bounce. The images burn like fire, but they're all I've got left. There was no reason or pattern to the transmissions. Whatever we picked up came in through sheer chance. These last, desperate signals would travel forever, into the far reaches of space, random, electronic bits of human reality, preserved for eternity. There was a strange, almost spiritual irony to it all. Through our machines, even mankind's destruction would endure in a perverse sort of immortality. As time passed, live transmissions were less frequent. What remained were static images generated from automatic sources. My God, we were a species in love with our deceits, clandestine monitoring devices blandly recording mankind's demise. Here, what was once a school classroom, but the rows of blank computer terminals were powerless. The only light was that which slanted through a broken window. A human body lay on the floor, parts of it gone, eaten away, leaving a fly-blown swollen mass. Maggots squirmed in the rank remains, and the putrefaction had drawn ants and other small scavengers. The corpse was too far gone to say what sex it had been. Above the body, spray-painted on the wall, in letters half a meter high, were the words, "Darwin was right." Had the dead person written those words as a final statement, or had the human arrived later to contemplate them, to seek after truth, before the higher link in the food chain came for its due? Words like these had power, but in the jungle, the sword, the tooth, the claw were mightier than the pen, always. A young man, maybe 25, sat in a church in the front pew. Religion hadn't been doing so well on Earth in the last 20 years, but there were still places for worship. A soft glow from beneath the cross mounted behind the altar illuminated the young man who sat in the first row of the otherwise empty church with his eyes closed, praying aloud. "And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil," he said. "For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen." Almost without pause, the young man began the prayer again, speaking in a monotone. "Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name." A dim, fuzzy shadow loomed suddenly on the wall at the end of the pew. "Thy kingdom come, thy will be done." The shadow grew larger. "On earth as it is in heaven." There came a faint rasping on the floor, and if the young man praying heard it, he made no sign. "Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors." The alien rose from behind the praying man, clear slime dripping in jelly-like strings from its jaws. The lips cleared the sharp teeth. Its mouth opened, revealing an inner set of smaller teeth, more like a claw in their function. "And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil." The inner set of teeth was mounted on a greasy-ridged pole. The rod shot from the thing's mouth with incredible speed and power. The sharp teeth punched a hole in the top of the praying man's skull, as if it were no thicker or harder than wet paper. Blood and brain tissue splashed. The praying man's eyes snapped open in a final surprise, and he managed one word: God. The alien caught his shoulders with its taloned hands and lifted him clear from the pew, the claws piercing the flesh and drawing gouts of blood from a heart that didn't know it was dead yet. The alien and its prey disappeared from view, leaving only a small puddle of congealing blood and a few flecks of gray matter on the pew to show that they have been there. The pew stood empty and silent. God, it seemed, wasn't taking "deliver us from evil" petitions just now. Amazing how people keep sending these casts out, like they really expect help. Or maybe it's like an old grave headstone, you know? The signals will go on into space forever, immortality as a radio wave. Maybe they think a million light years from Earth somebody will pick them up and give a shit. You know, buy a bag of popcorn and watch The End of Man, maybe on a double bill with a nature special. Hicks scanned the casts, looking for something different, but found only more of the same. Death, destruction, bodies rotting in the streets, animals feeding on them. Hicks shut the feed from Earth off. It was all history now. Whatever he was looking at had happened already, and it was over with. Done. He played with the scanners again, looking for wherever this ship might be bound. It was a crappy situation, the ship having been designed without passengers in mind. He'd managed to rig a few programs to get a read on the screens, which were only there for emergency backup anyhow, way he figured it. Probably cobbled together after things went bad on Earth, and as such was built with fence and wire prayer. After seeing the guy in church, Hicks didn't have a lot of faith in prayer. Not that he'd ever have much to begin with. While Hicks and the new crew of the American had no control over broadcasts, if and when the transmissions came through, Spears and his army held a close watch over Earth's communications, past and present. The comm team had access to casts that were close to live, and a myriad of all other broadcasts from Earth. General Spears examined all information available regarding the Xenomorph, reaching as far back to the Nostromo encounter. Spears had accessed all available data regarding the alien and the encounters with the Xenomorph species. He wanted to know his enemy, to understand it, and soon to control it. In this series, I'm recounting the Earth War, as depicted in the Aliens comic series and novels, and the events leading up to it, as well as its aftermath. The accounts are explored as originally published, despite certain names, locations, and other events having been altered over time. For more on the Earth War, you can check out the Accounts of the Earth War playlist on the end screen, and stay tuned for the latest videos. As always, I'd like to thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like, and you can also subscribe for all the latest videos from the channel. A very, very special thanks goes out to WEYLAND YUTANI Executive, EmYarUk, part of the Patreon Hive. I'd also like to thank our Hive's queen, Lady Anne. If you'd like to join the Hive and support the channel, check out my Patreon page for exclusive posts and contests. In the meantime, you can catch up with Alien Theory over social media. Follow @alien_theory on Twitter and @alientheoryyt on Facebook and Instagram for more. And until next time, this is Alien Theory, signing off.